Welcome back. This is Gateway 101. In Gateway 101, we places emphasis on prevention. We also teach our community about preventive measure, and we will also encourage our community to go for regular checkup. For in Gateway 101, we strongly believe that prevention is better than cure. This is Gateway 101. Thank you for joining this live broadcast. We're going to be talking about seizure part 2. We'll talk what is seizure, first aid, what do you need to know when somebody is having a seizure, and what you need to do during seizure, how to protect the person from injury, how to how to properly position the person, what not to do if somebody having a seizure, and after seizure, sticker face, what you need to do after seizure, and when to call emergency help 911 or local equivalent. So we're going to be talking about all that extra tip you should know, and quick memory aid, safe, you know. So we're going to be talking about all that. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, let's dive in. So we are saying that um, seizure part 2 was we're saying that seizures seizure first aid is about keeping a person safe while the seizure run its course and knowing when to get emergency help. So most seizures stop on their own within few minutes. Below is what you need to know and do. What to do during seizure. Stay calm and stay with the patient. Seizure can look frightening, but stay calm. Help you think clearly. Do not leave the patient alone. Okay, so we encourage you to stay with the patient during seizure, and we also encourage you to stay calm during seizure because this will encourage you and help you to help keep you think clearly. Okay, so do not leave a seizure patient by himself. And I repeat, do not leave a seizure patient by himself. Stay with them and stay calm. Okay, so seizure first aid is about keeping a person safe while the seizure run its course and knowing when to get emergency help. Most seizures stop on their own within few minutes. Okay, so what to do when somebody is having a seizure? What you know what to do when a patient is having a seizure? The first and foremost is for you to stay calm and stay with the patient. Seizure can look frightening, but staying calm help you think clearly. Please kindly subscribe and like. Kindly subscribe and like. Thank you. Do not leave them alone. Protect the patient from injury. Gently guide them to the floor if they are standing. Okay, if you are with a seizure patient and standing up when you started to shake and trembling, stay gently lower the patient to the floor and stay with them. Don't leave a seizure patient. Okay, so stay with them, guide them to the floor if they are standing. Okay, so clear nearby objects, any furniture, sharp objects that is around, clear them away. Okay, then place something soft under their head, a jacket, folded clothing, they put it under their hair so that they don't hurt themselves. Turn them on their side. If they're having a seizure, turn them on their side. This help keep the airway clear and prevent choking or saliva or vomit. This is especially important once the shaking slow or stop. Okay, so if they are having any tightening, if anybody with a seizure have the tightly closed, loose tie corner or scarves around their neck, loose the tightly close around their neck so that they don't end up suffocating, okay, or having difficulty breathing. They already have a difficulty breathing during the course of the seizure. So make sure they're not wearing anything tight and not tightly closed. So time and seizure, note how long it lasts. Very important. When somebody having a seizure, note what time that seizure last. Okay, this information is very important because if medical help is needed, because they will ask you how long has it have a seizure, how long the seizure lasted. So number one thing you need to do is to help them get them civilized and by creating a safe environment for them. Then make sure you don't forget to take to record the time. It is very, very important. Okay, when somebody is having a seizure, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and like. Okay, so what not to do if a patient is having a seizure? Do not put anything in their mouth. Don't give them anything to eat or swallow. Don't place anything in their mouth if a patient is having a seizure. They can swallow their tongue and object can cause injury or choking. So never place anything on a patient that is having a seizure mouth. Okay? Do not hold them down or restrain their movement. Once again, if a patient is having a seizure, do not restrain their movement. Do not hold them down. Okay? Allow them to shake and jerk as till the seizure run its course. Okay? And because this can cause injury to both of you. So do not restrain them by having a seizure. And do not give food, drink, or medication to a seizure patient. Okay, don't place anything in their mouth if they are having seizures, because not until they are fully awake and alert so that they don't choke or swallow unnecessary object. So never place anything, food, drink, or medication under a seizure patient's mouth. And do not perform CPR on a seizure patient. Seizure is not a cardiac arrest, so do not perform CPR on a cardiac patient unless the person stops breathing after the seizure ends. But never never start CPR on a seizure patient. Okay? Okay, after seizure, what do you need to do? After they having a seizure, what do you need to do? The person may be confused, so tired, embarrassed, or emotional. Speak calmly and pressure them. Stay with them until they are fully aware. Often offer to help them sit up or move to a quiet place. Okay? Ask if they have had seizure before and if there is anyone you want to contact. Okay? So, when to call emergency service 911 or local equivalent? When do you need to call help for a seizure patient? So, we strongly advise that you call help for a seizure patient when the seizure lasted longer than 5 minutes. If the seizure has lasted longer than 5 minutes, call call for help. Call 911. If they have another seizure right after the first one, call for medical help. They are injured, pregnant, or have diabetes. That means there's underlying causes of a seizure. If they have any, if they have, seizure before, okay. So if you have seizure back to back, if they're having a seizure because and they are diabetic patient, high blood pressure patient, so that means there's underlying illness. So if you want to find that out at the course of processing their assessing them, okay, they have trouble breathing. If they have trouble, if the seizure patient have trouble breathing, uh, after it ends, so you want to call 911. Okay, so the seizures appear in water. Please call 911. Okay, there is first aid. This, this is the first non seizure. So, some extra tip you should know is some people have medical ID jewelry or seizure action plan. So, flashing lights are not triggered for most people. This is a common realm. Okay, you cannot stop a seizure once it has started. You may, okay, you cannot stop a seizure once it has started. Your role is safety. Safety, safety, safety. Your number one priority for a seizure patient is safety. Is safety, safety, safety. Okay? So your number one priority for a seizure patient is safety. So stay with the person, air will clear, air will cleared, put them on the side so that you clear the airway, flow and remove all hazard and call emergency help. Okay, so let's talk about that is it for number one seizure activities. Thank you and thank you. So let's for the sake of those who are just joining us, let's recap. Okay, for the sake of you who are just joining us. Okay, for the sake of you who are just joining us, let's recap what we just learned so that at least you can better understand it. We are saying that seizure first aid is about keeping a person safe while the seizure lasts run its course and know when to get help. Most seizures stop on their own within a few minutes. So below is what you should know and do. Okay? So we are saying that the first thing you need to do if you plan having a seizure is stay calm and stay with them. That is number one, safety. So seizure can look frightening, but stay calm, help you think clearly, and do not leave them alone. You must not leave a patient who having a seizure by his or herself. You gotta stay with them. Okay, you said protect them from injuries. So you gently guide them to the floor if they are standing, and please gently guide them to the floor if they are standing, and clear clear object, feature, sharp item. Place something often under the arms. Okay, check jacket, folding cloth, and everything. So this is gateway 101. So turn them on their side. If you're having a seizure, always turn a seizure patient to their side so that they can draw out. Okay? To turn them understand, this help keep the airway clear and prevent choking or vomiting. This is essential. This is especially important once the shaking slow. Okay? So we're going to be talking about losing touch elation, lessing tie corner, or severe washing machine. Yeah, they put up all this show. So lose tight clothes. If somebody having a seizure, do not put them on a tight clothes. Try to loosen their clothes as much as possible. Very important. If you have a seizure patient, unless you will say stay with them, assist them to the floor if they are standing, make sure they are okay, position them to their side. You can use a blanket, folded cloth to put under their hair so that they remain calm. Okay, so called loose tighten clothing, loose tie, corner, or scabies around the neck. Also say that time the seizures, because when a doctor comes to you, the first question will ask is, how this seizure lasted for how long? So you got to tie, yeah. So so you got to time them and make sure you keep records of the time. Okay. Do not put anything in the seizure patient's mouth. It's no. Please don't do that. And also, they cannot swallow. Their tongue and object can cause injury or choking. So never put anything on seizure patient's mouth. Okay, and do not hold them down and restrain their movement. Never restrain a seizure patient. Okay, because you can fight back aggressively, and it's going to be really fatal. So make sure it's taking its medication. Okay, make sure it's taking its medication. That is the most important thing. And do not hold them or bottle. Okay, do not hold them. So leave them alone. Just stay with them. Let the seizure run its course. Okay. Okay. So we also said that do not give them food. Do not give a seizure patient food. Very, very important. Do not give a seizure patient food because they can choke with that. Okay. So no food, no drinks if they are actively having a seizure, and never perform CPR on a seizure patient. Never perform a CPR because unless the person stop breathing, because seizure is not a cardiac, so never perform a seizure therapy when the patient is having a seizure. Okay, so do not give food. We'll talk about that already, and do not replace John. Okay, so seizures after seizures, the person may be confused. So what do you need to do after seizure? The person may be confused, tired, embarrassed, or emotional. So speak calmly and reassure them. Stay with them until they are fully aware. Okay, offer to help them. Try to sit them up or move to a quiet place if they are standing. Okay, and if they have had seizure before, and if there's anyone they want to contact, so when to call emergency help if somebody having a seizure. So call emergency help once you're having a seizure. When the seizure lasted more than 5 minutes, call emergency help. We also said that if you call emergency help, uh, if the person have another seizure right after the first one, back to back, call for emergency help. They are injured, pregnant, or have diabetes. That means there's underlying illness, call for emergency help. The seizure helped in water, call for emergency help. They have trouble breathing after the seizure, need to call for emergency help. They do not wake up or return to normal, call for emergency help. This is the first known seizure, call for emergency help. Okay, so it's a simple extra tip you should know. Some people have a medical ID jury or seizure action plan. Flashy lights are not a trigger for most people. This is a common realm. You cannot stop a seizure once it has started. your role is safety. Okay, so stay with the patient, make sure airway is clear and reposition to their side, and floor and remove hazard emergency help needed. So that is a simple way to add that first aid. I call it Facebook Gateway 101 first aid. Okay, first aid. Thank you all for watching. So we're going to be coming your way again tomorrow morning. Do not forget now. Stay up and stay awake. God bless you. Thank you and bye for now.